In December of this year, my friend Harrison and I hiked the famed Escalante Route. We began our trek by parking at Grandview Trailhead and hitching a ride to Tanner Trailhead. The 9-mile descent down Tanner Trail would take us to the official start of the Escalante Route along the Colorado River. We would then make our ascent up Grandview Trail back to the rim where we parked. The initial descent had an abundance of juniper berries and snow. Eventually I gave in and put my crampons on. As we descended the 1,200 feet of elevation, the vegetation and scenery began to evolve and transform into something a little more desert-like and arid. On day 2, we arrived at the Escalante Route. Tanner Rapids is the first water source we encountered on the trail, but from here on out there's no scarcity of water as you hike downstream along the Colorado River. We continued on for a few more miles until we arrived at Cardenas Beach, where we set up camp for the night. Water here was freezing cold. The next morning, we made granola, filtered water for the day, and hit the trail. The trail ascends several hundred feet after leaving Cardenas Beach and offers amazing panoramic views of the Grand Canyon. The trail then turned away from the Colorado River and brought us to the entrance of 75 Mile Canyon, a narrow slot canyon within the Grand Canyon. We set up camp at 75 Mile Creek. The following day, the first challenge we faced was climbing Papago Wall, a 50-foot vertical climb. Soon after, we arrived at Hance Rapids. This marks the official end of the Escalante Route. We continued for another 6 miles to Hance Creek, where we camped overnight. There is a reliable source of water here, but it's the last one until you leave the Grand Canyon. On our last day, we continued the steep ascent. We passed by several abandoned mines and rusted equipment. As we got near the rim, we caught views of the vast terrain we had just traversed. Just like the Grand Canyon, how do you feel?
Tired. I feel tired, and that's about it.
What about all the positives, you know, like accomplishment?
Well, I mean, just getting to the end is an accomplishment in itself, but I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's nothing I've ever seen before.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, let's go eat.
Let's go.